Eli Grant woke up feeling confused. His head was heavy and the light around him was soft but bright. He opened his eyes slowly. He was lying on a large bed made of smooth white stone. Around him, the walls were tall and shiny, with strange blue and green lights moving gently like rivers of color. He sat up and looked around. This was not his room. It was not even a room he had ever seen before. Everything looked strange and beautiful. The floor was smooth but soft under his feet. The air smelled fresh, like rain mixed with flowers he had never smelled before. Then, the door opened quietly. A tall alien woman entered. She had long silver hair that glowed faintly. Her skin was pale blue and smooth. Her eyes were large and golden, shining like stars. She smiled kindly at Eli. "Welcome, chosen one," she said in a voice soft but clear. Her words sounded strange, but Eli understood them perfectly. Eli rubbed his eyes and tried to speak, but his throat was dry. The alien woman stepped closer and handed him a cup with a strange, glowing liquid. "Drink this. It will help," she said. Eli drank slowly. The liquid was sweet and warm. After a moment, he felt better. The woman helped him stand up. "You are in the palace of the Velari," she said. "We have waited many years for you." Eli looked at her and asked, "Why? Who am I? What is this place?" The woman bowed her head respectfully. "You are the arrival, the one our people chose from another world. You are special." Eli felt a strange mixture of fear and excitement. He had no idea what was happening. One moment he was on Earth, and now he was in a palace on another planet, treated like someone important. The door opened again. More aliens came in. Some looked like the first woman, but others were very different. Some were tall and thin, others were short with wide faces. All of them looked at Eli with respect and curiosity. One of them stepped forward. He was the leader, a tall male Velari with silver markings on his face. "Eli Grant," he said, "you are our honored guest. Today you will be treated like a king." Eli blinked. "A king? I don't understand." The leader smiled kindly. "All will be clear soon. Come, we will show you our world." They took Eli from the palace room and walked through long, bright halls. The walls were covered in glowing symbols that changed color as they moved. Soft music played in the air, calm and beautiful. Eli felt like he was in a dream. Outside, large. Windows, he saw strange plants and tall towers made of shining metal. The sky was violet with two suns shining warmly. People came to bow as Eli passed. They wore colorful clothes with strange patterns. Some brought gifts, fruits he had never seen, jewelry made of shining stones, and machines that floated in the air. Eli was amazed but still unsure what this all meant. Why was he here? Why did they call him king? The Velari leader stopped before a large hall filled with seats made of crystal. "Tonight," he said, "you will join our feast. It is a great honor." Eli nodded slowly. He was hungry after the long trip, even if he did not know how he came here. In the hall, the feast began. The Velari served many dishes. Some looked like glowing fruits, others like strange meats. Eli tried a little of everything. The food was delicious, but very different from Earth. As he ate, the Velari told him stories. They spoke of their history, their wars, and their hopes for the future. Eli listened carefully, though much was hard to understand. But he noticed something strange. The Velari smiled a lot, but their eyes sometimes looked nervous. Some of them glanced at him quickly, then looked away. Eli tried to ask questions, but the answers were always calm and polite, never direct. After the feast, a young Velari girl came to Eli. She was smaller than the others, with dark blue skin and bright green eyes. She looked at him quietly and said, I am Sira. Eli smiled and said, Hello, Sira. Thank you for the feast. It was very kind. Sira's eyes looked serious. You must be careful, Eli. They are going to offer you. Eli frowned. Offer me? What do you mean? Who will offer me? Sira looked around nervously. Not here, not now, but soon. You must listen to me. Eli's heart beat fast. Offer me? Like a gift, or… Sira shook her head. No, not a gift. Something worse. The offering ceremony is soon. You must escape before it begins. Eli was shocked. Escape? Why? What ceremony? Sira whispered. Our people have a secret. Every 100 years we choose someone from another world, someone strong. They say it is to keep the curse away, but it is a lie. They will sacrifice you. Eli's mind raced. Sacrifice? This was like a nightmare. Why me? Why humans? He asked. Sira's eyes were sad. They say humans come from a death world. They believe your strength will keep the curse away. But it is a trap. Eli felt cold. He looked at the Valari around him, all smiling and bowing. How could they hide such a thing? He wanted to run. But the palace was huge, and guards were everywhere. Sira took his hand. Come, I will help you. But you must be brave. Eli nodded, feeling a new strength inside him. He did not know what would happen next, but he knew he had to survive. Together, they slipped into the dark halls, away from the lights and music. The palace felt different here, cold and quiet. Sira whispered, You are not alone. Some of us want to stop the priests who rule, but we are few. Eli felt hope for the first time. Maybe with her help, he could change this world. As they moved through secret tunnels under the palace, Eli looked back once. The bright hall with the feast and the Valari's smiles seemed far away now. The night was just beginning, and so was his true journey. Eli followed Sira through the dark stone tunnel under the palace. The lights above them were dim and flickered softly. The walls felt cold, and the air smelled old, like a place forgotten by time. Sira moved quickly, her small feet making no sound. She looked back at Eli and said in a quiet voice, Stay close. If the guards see us, they will take you to the temple. Eli's heart pounded. What happens in the temple? Sira looked away. That's where the offering takes place. They reached a corner and Sira stopped. She pressed her hand against the wall, and a small door opened. Inside was a round room with strange symbols on the walls. A low table stood in the center with glowing stones arranged in a circle. Sira sat down and motioned for Eli to do the same. We're safe here. For now, she said. Eli sat, still trying to understand everything. Sira, you said they're going to offer me as a sacrifice? Why me? Sira nodded slowly. Every 100 years, the high priests choose someone from another world. The Valari believe their planet was cursed long ago. They think only by giving the life of a powerful outsider, the curse will sleep again. Eli looked shocked. But that's not right. That's murder. I know, Sira said softly. But the people believe the lie. The priests show them fake signs in the sky. They say the world will die if the ritual doesn't happen. Eli stood up and paced. But why are humans chosen? Why not someone else? Sira looked up at him. Because humans come from a death world. Your people are strong, fast, and hard to kill. The Valari believe a human soul is more powerful than any other. That's why they took you. Eli sat down again, his head spinning. But I didn't come here on purpose. I didn't ask for this. Sira nodded. I believe you. The last one didn't either. He tried to run. He didn't make it. Eli stared at her. There was another human? Yes, she said sadly. He came 100 years ago. He fought the priests, but he was alone. They caught him. He died on the altar. Eli clenched his fists. That's not going to happen to me. Sira reached into her cloak and pulled out a small glowing device. This is a translator. You can use it to speak our language. You'll understand everything now. Eli took the device and placed it in his ear. Instantly, the strange alien sounds around him became clear words. It was like magic. Thanks, he said. Now I can hear the truth. Sira stood up. We don't have much time. The ceremony is tomorrow. At sunrise, they will dress you in silver robes and take you to the temple. If you don't escape tonight, it will be too late. Eli looked at her. Do you know a way out of the city? Sira nodded. Yes, but it's dangerous. The tunnels lead to the lower city near the old ruins. The guards don't go there. It's forbidden. Why forbidden? Eli asked. Because the truth is buried there, she said. The ruins hold proof that the curse is a lie, that the offering is just a way to keep control. Eli's eyes lit up. If we find that proof, we can show it to the people. We can stop the ceremony. Sira looked hopeful. Yes, but we must hurry. They left the hidden room and went deeper into the tunnels. The path twisted and turned, going lower and lower. Strange sounds echoed in the distance, drips of water, whispering wind, and the creaking of old stones. After an hour of walking, they reached a wide cavern. Broken walls stood like teeth around them. Ancient machines lay rusted and silent. Symbols covered every surface. Sira walked toward a stone tablet and brushed off the dust. This was written by the first Valari before the priests took power, she said. Eli looked at the writing. Thanks to the translator, he could read the words. No, gods demand blood. No curse haunts our skies. The offering is a lie to feed the fear of men who crave power. Eli's hands shook. This proves it. Sira nodded. But no one has seen this. The priests sealed the place and banned it from the maps. We need to show this to everyone, Eli said. If we take a picture, maybe... Suddenly, a loud hum filled the air. The walls vibrated. Sira grabbed Eli's arm. They've found us! Run! From the tunnel behind them, red lights flashed. The sound of boots hitting the floor echoed through the cavern. Eli and Sira ran deeper into the ruins. Dust flew as their feet hit the ground. The old halls twisted like a maze. This way! Sira shouted. They turned into a narrow path. Ahead was a hole in the wall, barely big enough to crawl through. Sira went first, and Eli followed. As they emerged into another tunnel, the sounds behind them faded. They were safe again, for now. They rested for a moment. Eli looked at Sira. You risked everything to help me. Why? Sira looked serious. Because I believe the Valari can be better, but they need to see the truth, and because... You remind me of him. Who? The last human. He saved my grandmother once. She told me stories about him. He fought even when he knew he would die. Now, maybe you can finish what he started. Eli felt a strange warmth in his chest. He was scared, yes, but also proud. Someone believed in him. We'll stop the priests, he said. No more sacrifice. No more lies. Sira smiled. Then we must plan. Tomorrow morning they will take you to the temple. We let them. You act like you don't know anything, but during the ceremony, I'll bring the proof. You will speak to the people. Show them the truth. Eli nodded. Let them think I'm still the chosen one. Yes, she said, but this time, the chosen one will choose them. To be free. They returned to the palace through another secret tunnel. It was almost morning. The stars were fading from the sky, and a purple light began to rise. Sira stopped at the entrance to Eli's room. You must act normal. Eat the food. Wear the robes. Pretend to believe. Eli nodded. I can do that. She looked at him, eyes full of worry. They will watch you closely. Don't slip. He touched her hand gently. Thank you, Sira. You saved my life. She smiled. Just a little. Not yet. Then she disappeared into the shadows. Eli entered his room and lay down on the soft bed. He stared at the ceiling. In a few hours, he would stand before thousands of Valari. They would expect him to smile and die. But he would give them something else instead. The truth. Morning came quickly. The sky above the Valari capital turned from purple to gold. The sun rose slowly, shining over the tall crystal towers. The city looked peaceful, but deep inside the palace, Eli Grant was preparing for something dangerous. He sat silently in his room as soft music played through the walls. A group of Valari attendants entered. They smiled kindly, bowing as they approached. "Honored arrival," one of them said. "The time has come. You must wear the sacred robes." Eli nodded calmly, hiding his fear. He let them dress him in flowing silver cloth, with glowing threads that changed colors as he moved. Around his neck, they placed a chain of shining stones. On his forehead, they placed a small crown made of soft metal. He looked like a king again, but this time he knew the truth. As they finished dressing him, Eli glanced at the door. No sign of Sira yet. He hoped she was safe. The attendants guided him through the palace halls. Eli walked slowly, acting as if nothing was wrong. He smiled when they bowed and thanked them politely, but inside, his mind was racing. Would Sira really bring the proof in time? Would the people believe him? Or would they still follow the lies of the high priests? The large palace gates opened, and Eli stepped outside. The streets were full of Valari. Thousands stood in silence, watching him with wide eyes. Floating lights hovered above the crowd. Strange music played in the air. A golden path led from the palace to the ancient temple. Tall towers stood on both sides, covered in glowing vines. At the end of the path stood the temple, a dark, round building with sharp edges and high steps. The high priests waited at the top, dressed in black and red robes. Their faces were hidden behind silver masks. Only their glowing eyes could be seen. Eli kept walking. His heart beat louder with every step. He remembered Sira's words. "Let them believe. Play the part. I'll bring the truth." At the temple gates, the priests raised their hands. The crowd went silent. "Brothers and sisters of Valari," one priest said, "the time has come. The curse sleeps, but it stirs. The arrival stands before us. We must complete the offering." The people bowed their heads. Eli stood quietly. The priests led him up the steps. Inside, the temple was dark. Glowing red stones lit the room. At the center was the altar, a large flat table of black stone with silver rings and symbols. Eli was guided to the altar and gently placed on it. He didn't resist. One priest held a long, curved blade. He raised it high. Then a loud voice echoed from the back of the temple. "Stop!" Everyone turned. It was Sira. She stood at the entrance of the temple, holding a glowing crystal above her head. "This offering is a lie," she shouted. "Look at the truth!" The crystal projected a large image in the air. It showed the ancient ruins, the writing on the wall, the message from the past. "No gods demand blood. No curse haunts our skies. The offering is a lie." Gasps filled the room. Some of the Valari stepped back. Others whispered in shock. Sira kept speaking. "Your priests have lied for centuries. They use fear to keep control. Eli is not a sacrifice. He is a visitor from a distant world, and they want to kill him for nothing." The high priests looked angry. One stepped forward and shouted, "Lies! She speaks poison! The curse is real!" Eli sat up on the altar. He looked at the crowd using the translator in his ear. "I did not come here to save you," he said. "I did not come to be your king. But I will not be your victim." He stood. "Your world is beautiful. Your people are kind. But you are being used, controlled by fear." That ends now. One of the priests charged at Sira. Eli jumped down and tackled him to the ground. The crowd screamed. Another priest raised his blade. Eli grabbed a broken metal rod and blocked the attack. Sparks flew. He fought hard, pushing the priest back. Sira ran to him, handing him a small energy weapon. "I took it from a guard," she said. Eli nodded and pointed it at the priests. "Enough!" But the high priests wouldn't stop. One of them activated a control panel on the wall. Suddenly, the sky above the temple darkened. The suns were hidden by clouds. Red lightning flashed. "See?" the priest shouted. "The curse awakens!" But Sira laughed. "It's fake. The weather machines. They control the sky. Eli saw them." Eli pointed to the ceiling. "Your leaders built machines in orbit to create fear. They can darken your sky and make it look like doom is coming. But it's just wires and clouds." The people outside looked up. Some began shouting. Others looked confused. Many were angry. A few guards lowered their weapons. One guard shouted, "Is this true? Are we fools?" Another said, "We've been killing innocents for nothing." The crowd started to move toward the temple. The priests looked afraid. One priest tried to run, but Sira blocked the door. "No more," she said. Eli stood tall beside her. "The truth is free now. You can choose what happens next," the people shouted in support. The temple shook with their voices. "Free, Eli! No more lies! No more offerings!" The guards stepped aside. The high priests were taken by the people. Eli walked down the temple steps. The crowd opened a path for him. Some reached out to touch his hand. Others bowed, but this time not in fear, in respect. Sira followed him, smiling. "You did it," she said. "No," Eli replied. "We did it." The sun broke through the clouds. The fake storm disappeared. Light covered the city once again. That night, the people celebrated. The offering ceremony was over, but something new had begun. Eli sat with Sira on a hill overlooking the city. "Will they be okay?" he asked. Sira nodded. "Change is hard. But they have seen the truth. They will build something better." Eli looked up at the stars. "I wonder what Earth would say if they knew all this." Sira smiled. "Maybe one day they'll visit, and we'll treat them like kings." Eli laughed. "As long as it doesn't come with an altar, I'm fine with that." They sat in silence for a while. The stars above shined brighter than ever. For the first time, Eli felt like he truly belonged. Not as a sacrifice, not as a king, but as a human who made a difference. And he was just getting started. The next morning, the Valari city was different. Gone were the banners of the offering ceremony. The priests' red and black flags had been torn down. Their golden statues stood broken in the main square. The people no longer bowed. They stood straight, talked freely, and asked hard questions. But not everything was peaceful. Some of the priests had escaped. Loyal guards had vanished into the tunnels. And across the city, many still whispered that the curse would return. Fear, though wounded, was not yet dead. Eli and Sira stood on the balcony of the palace, looking over the crowd below. People had gathered again, but not to watch a sacrifice. This time they came for truth. "They still look at me like I'm a symbol," Eli said. "But I'm not a hero. I didn't plan any of this." "You acted like one when it mattered," Sira replied. "That's what makes the difference." Eli nodded, but his thoughts were heavy. He had come to this world by accident. At first, they treated him like royalty. Then he learned he was meant to die in a fake ceremony to keep an old lie alive. He had fought back. He had shown the truth. But now what? "I'm not a leader," he said. "I don't know how to fix a broken world." "You're not alone," Sira said, "and you're not finished yet." Just then, a messenger arrived. A young Valari boy with glowing patterns on his arms. "They're calling for you," he said. "The council wants to speak." "The council?" Eli asked. "Yes," Sira explained. "Now that the high priests are gone, the old council of houses has returned. They want to rebuild the government. Eli frowned. Why do they want me? Sira gave him a look. Because you are the one who made the truth come out. And whether you want it or not, you've become a symbol of change. Inside the council hall, 12 elders waited. Some were tall, others small, with different skin, colors and patterns. They were not like the priests. These people looked tired but wise. Their eyes were full of questions. The head counselor, a woman named Lavin, stood up. Eli Grant of Earth, she said, your actions have ended the offering ceremony after thousands of years. You have risked your life for our people. Now we ask, what would you have us do next? Eli paused. Everyone was watching him. He stepped forward and spoke clearly. I'm not here to rule you. I didn't come to lead. But I do have one message. Stop living in fear. The room was silent. Your leaders lied to you, he continued. They said the curse was real, but it was fake. They controlled your skies, your stories, and your minds. And they used me, my life, as a way to keep you silent. That ends now. He looked at all the council members. Let your people think freely. Let them speak freely. Let them ask questions, and don't punish them for doing so. The counselor nodded slowly. Your words carry great weight, Eli Grant, and your truth will be remembered. Another elder, an old male with green eyes, leaned forward. But not everyone accepts this truth. There are still those loyal to the priests. They are hiding in the northern ruins. They will strike back, Lavin said, unless we stop them. Eli glanced at Sira. She gave a small nod. Then, we stop them, Eli said. Not with fear, not with sacrifice, but with truth and strength. That evening, Eli joined a group of rebels who had followed Sira for years. They wore simple armor made from old metal and scraps and used weapons, taken from the priest's guards. They called themselves the Flame of Dawn. Together they planned a mission. The Loyalists are hiding in the ruins near the old tower, said one rebel named Vex. That's where they're sending messages to other cities, spreading lies about the curse returning. They're trying to start fear again, Sira added. They think if they bring the people back into panic, they can take control again. Then we stop the signal, Eli said. We go tonight. The journey to the old tower was rough. The land outside the city was wild, full of broken machines and half-buried ruins. The air smelled of rust and old energy. Glowing birds flew overhead, and strange shadows moved between trees with metal roots. Eli and the rebels moved quietly. At the base of the old tower, they found the entrance guarded. 3 former priests and a group of loyal guards stood watch. Eli took a deep breath. I'll go first, he said. I'll distract them. When I give the signal, you move. Sira grabbed his arm. Be careful. He nodded and stepped into the open. The guard shouted and pointed weapons at him. It's him, one said. The false king, Eli raised. His hands. I'm not here to fight. I came to speak. One of the priests stepped forward. His mask was broken and his eyes were full of hate. You destroyed our way, the priest said. You poisoned the minds of the people. No, Eli replied. I freed them. You brought death. The curse will wake now. All of us will suffer. Eli stepped closer. The only curse here is fear, and I'm not afraid of you. Behind him, Sira and the rebels struck. Smoke bombs exploded. Bright lights flashed. Rebels rushed from the shadows. Eli jumped aside as the guards fired. He rolled and picked up a fallen weapon, returning fire. Sira fought beside him, fast and brave. In minutes, it was over. The guards were captured, and the priests were taken alive. Inside the tower, they found the signal device. It was a black cube humming with power, sending fake messages across the planet. Sira shut it down. The lies end now, she said. Back In the city, the people cheered when they saw Eli and the rebels return. The priests had been defeated. The signal was stopped. The cities would no longer hear messages of doom. For the first time in many generations, the Valari were free. That night, Eli sat by a quiet lake with Sira. The sky was clear. Stars shined bright, and the moons reflected on the water. "You could have gone home," Sira said. "Why did you stay and fight?" Eli looked at the stars. "Because once you know the truth, you can't ignore it. And because I couldn't leave you," Sira smiled. "What will you do now?" "I don't know," he said. "But maybe help build something better." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "Then stay, help us." Eli smiled. "All right, one more fight, one more day." Above them, the stars watched. But this time they watched a world no longer trapped in lies, a world that was learning to stand, and a human who came as a sacrifice, but became a spark of hope. The Valari capital looked brighter than ever. 1 month had passed since the fall of the high priests. The skies were clear. The temples were no longer places of fear, but schools of knowledge. Statues of the old priests were replaced by gardens, open markets, and murals of hope. Eli Grant stood on a tall balcony watching the city below. He wore simple clothes now. No crown, no glowing robes. He wasn't treated like a king anymore, and he didn't want to be. Sira stood beside him, holding a small scroll in her hand. "They're ready," she said. Eli turned to her. "You sure they'll accept me?" "They already have," she smiled. "You don't need to wear silver to be respected. You've earned their trust." Eli took a deep breath and followed her down the stairs. A large stage had been set up in the central plaza. Valari of all kinds, old and young, rich and poor, different colors, shapes, and sizes, stood in the crowd, waiting. The council sat on one side. The Flame of Dawn rebels stood on the other. And in the center was a podium, made of smooth white crystal. Eli stepped forward. The crowd became quiet. He looked at the thousands of faces watching him. "I'm not from here," he began. "I come from a planet called Earth. When I woke up in your palace, I didn't know why I was here. I was treated like a king. But then I learned the truth." He paused. "You didn't bring me here to honor me. You brought me here to sacrifice me. Because your priests told you a lie that ruled your lives for generations." Some in the crowd looked down, ashamed. Others looked up, eyes wet with emotion. "But," Eli continued, "when the truth was shown, many of you opened your eyes. You listened. You asked questions. And then you stood up. You fought back. You ended the offering." The crowd clapped quietly. "You were brave. You changed your world. I didn't save you. You saved yourselves." He looked toward Sira. "And now, it's time to build something new." He raised a glowing crystal. "This is not a weapon. It is a beacon. I am sending this message to Earth, to tell my people that the Valari are free, that your world is ready for peace, for trade, for friendship." The crowd cheered. "I ask for nothing. I only offer this. Let us learn from each other. Let humans and Valari walk side by side, not as rulers and followers, but as friends." He stepped back. The plaza erupted in cheers and music. The bells of the old temple rang for the first time in years, but not for a sacrifice. This time they rang for a new beginning. That evening, Eli sat with Sira near the lake. A fire burned gently beside them. Strange glowing insects danced in the night air. The sky was full of stars and distant planets. "Do you think Earth will answer?" Sira asked. "They will," Eli nodded. "And when they do, I want them to see the real Valari, not the one ruled by fear, but the one you've helped build." Sira smiled. "I never thought my world would change." "You believed," he said, "even when no one listened. You saved me. You saved your people. She looked at him, her green eyes glowing in the firelight. And you gave us courage. They sat quietly for a moment. Then Sira asked, Will you stay? Eli looked at the sky. I don't belong anywhere else now. I came here a stranger. But now, this is home. Over the next few weeks, everything changed. The old temples were turned into libraries and learning centers. The offering altar was broken and replaced with a memorial stone that read, No more fear, no more lies. We choose truth. The Flame of Dawn became protectors of the peace. They helped villages rebuild and taught people to think for themselves. Eli worked with the council to write a new law, one that gave every Valari voice and choice. He also built a small station on the edge of the city. It held a beacon that sent messages across the stars, hoping someone from Earth would hear. Sira taught children the real history of their world. She became a leader, not with weapons, but with words. She and Eli grew closer each day. They laughed. They planned. They dreamed. One evening, they walked hand in hand through a forest of silver-leafed trees. The leaves glowed under moonlight, and the air was soft and quiet. You've changed, Sira said. Maybe, Eli replied. Or maybe I just became who I was meant to be? You're not a king anymore, she teased. Eli smiled. Good. Kings sit on thrones. I'd rather walk beside people. Then, one morning, everything changed again. The sky above the Valari capital shimmered. A strange silver shape appeared, round, shining, and massive. It was a ship. Not a Valari ship, a human ship. The beacon had been heard. The people gathered in awe. Children pointed. Elders cried. The council prepared a greeting. Eli stood in the center, heart pounding. A ramp lowered from the ship. A small group of humans stepped down, dressed in simple suits, their flags glowing softly on their arms. One of them, a woman with short black hair, stepped forward. I'm Captain Maya Taurus, she said. Of the Earth Diplomatic Fleet. She looked at Eli. You're Eli Grant? He nodded. Yeah, she smiled. Your message reached us. You've caused quite a stir. Eli laughed nervously. Good or bad? Good, she said. Mostly. Earth wants to know everything, but first we're just here to say thank you. Eli blinked. Thank you? You saved a world. Not with force, but with truth. That matters. Eli looked at the Valari crowd behind him. Sira stood in front, proud and smiling. I didn't do it alone, Captain Torres nodded. I believe you. She looked around. Earth is ready to help, but we'll follow your lead. Eli smiled. Then welcome to Valari. The crowd cheered. That. Night humans and Valari shared stories, food, and music. Earth's technology helped fix broken machines. Valari songs filled the air. Eli and Sira stood together watching it all. You really think they'll get along? She asked. He grinned. If I can survive your food and you can survive my jokes, anything's possible. She laughed. And together, they watched two worlds come together, not through power, not through fear, but through trust. And it all began with one human who refused to die, and one alien girl who whispered a warning.